Thanks to my Parliament Cai Jiaen, and I will carry on to introduce the Chinese copyright law, how the origins, what's in his own style, and carry on right now. Let's take a look at the timeline here. Comparison to the United States copyright law or other Western countries, the history of Chinese copyright law is quite short, only 25 years since 1990. When in 1992, after China had joined into the Berne Convention, the copyright law in China has been modified for twice. The first time in October 27, 2001, and the second one in February 26, 2010. Now they are preparing there will be the third advent in 2012. However, it comes only in draft, not implemented yet. The biggest influence of moral right that is they decide to use the right of attribution to replace the right of revision. No matter how they modify the act, there's only one purpose to make the law. In order to put developing the culture and technology under association watch, they put this principle significantly list on their Article 1, which it could be Chinese own style of moral right. In this page, I'll study compared to the Chinese own style moral rights with the standard set of Western mainstreams and the Berne Convention. As you can see, Chinese copyright law contained the four dimensions of the moral rights: authorship, revision, integrity, and publication. Authorship, integrity, and publication. We already knew those. But the revision, what is that? As we know about this, there are no revisions in Western style moral rights as we're familiar, especially under the public purpose of solving doctrines. This nation allowed the author to modify his work or to authorize others to instead of him, as long as for selfless association. Furthermore, there's no attribution and windrow ideas in China copyright law either. We guess the right of integrity should be covered then. And at last, the Berne Convention could be the lightest protection in this act. Only the right of authorship and the right of integrity. Let's take a look on the first case. Wu Guanzhong sued Do Yunxuan, a gallery in Shanghai, and the Yongchen Guwan, an antiquarian collection company in Hong Kong. I'll introduce this case to elaborate what's differences between the right of revision and attributions under the China copyright law. In the beginning, the plaintiff Guanzhong is a famous painter with a very high reputation in China art market, and the defendants Do Yunxuan and Yongchen Guwan were both to co-host the auction of Chinese temporary calligraphy and painting in October 1993. These awards are provided by Do Yunxuan. After this auction, they published the paintings into picture album and sent to other units. In the same time, the plaintiff was noticed that the painting in auction has entitled Portrait of Mao is failings attributed to him. However, the plaintiff already announced that wasn't his work. The plaintiff sued for an injunction of the sale, a public apology, and the larger monetary damages. Therefore, the court considers that the defendant saw a forged painting was a direct infringement of plaintiff's attribution right. It leads to the plaintiff won the case. In the end of my portion, I will leave the rest to my non-parliamentarian. He will continue to explain the revision and integrity in the other cases.